Welcome to the Intuition Hour with Katt Nicholson, where our wonderful host Katt encourages each and every one of you to build your own intuition, navigate your own connection with spirit, and tap into the deep beauty within yourself. Enjoy the Intuition Hour with Katt Nicholson.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Happy Monday. I'm so excited to be with you live today on May 25th, 2026. And I am so eternally grateful for all of our military men and women who sacrifice every day and then some. It is a super special day for me because all of the men in one side of my family were military, but my father was a lifer, and I'm very, very proud always of his dedication and service. As an Aries male, I'm sure he's looking down and still looking for that praise and appreciating it. So, Dad, I do love you, and thank you so much for your service. Okay, we have a little bit of reverb, guys. I don't know why. Let me just turn you down and see if that's better. Okay, are we fixed? Very good. Okay, very good. If those of you, all right, I think we're good. Okay, guys. Okay, let's do this. So I've been laughing. I hope you all enjoyed Mark's show today. I'm so excited to announce that I will be with him on his member channel tonight, which I'm very excited about at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific time. We were going to have a great time. I am really looking forward to that, as well as talking about this Gemini energy. Speaking of, I'm very familiar with it, as you all know. I am definitely hoping I can explain a few things in general about it, but really what the vibe is now, because I've been talking to some of you over at One to Listen, and it has it's definitely up. It's you could tell, like, the Uranus vibe. You could tell the Gemini sun. It's always giving us a little bit of a jolt to begin with, but there's really a difference. We talk about the emotional, or what it feels like right now. It is almost like, we get our weather reports, and Florida is hurricane season, so we're always like paying attention to what's happening or what's coming up. And then we want to talk about the emotional weather report, because a lot of people believe that Gemini does run on nervous energy, and I'm sure you guys are feeling some of this, because a few people, or more than a few, I should say, have said they've been anxious with the energy, or they felt the lift, and we don't really know what to do with that sometimes. So it's really what a good reminder is. Of the energy around, say, our weather. How do we separate our mental weather from our soul weather? What is our temperature? Where are our thoughts? How are we paying attention to either overstimulation or emotional whiplash, so to speak? Because Gemini is an overthinker, or we process, and no matter what sign you are right now, you're going to be absorbing some of this. I believe, especially with the way the world is, your external chaos, your anxiety disguised as urgency. Everybody seems to be in a bigger, maybe a little bit of a hurry. And how do we, um, I wrote this down. Not every thought deserves a seat at your table. And so, how do we differentiate between what's real and what isn't? Or how do we encourage our intuition to come on in and take over, because it's quieter, it's softer, it's more like wisdom coming through? Are your thoughts really real? Do you sit down and ask yourself, what am I overthinking about? What am I overreacting to? Or sometimes that mental loud noise of the chaotic world that we're living in. Um, we really need to focus on more inner peace, right? So we want to become friends with peace. And I did a little exercise through the week because of everything going on. uh, we have a lot of outer rings of our lives, and then we have that inner protective ring. How do we, from our inner protective self, make friends with that peace if the outer world is chaotic? And so I was thinking about that. How do we shut off or sign out? I don't know about you all, but social media is becoming um, questionable, even more questionable than ever, because we never know what we're reading to be correct. And you'll probably find yourself, I don't know if you do this, and I'm sure many of you do already, but Googling for truth, or you have to ask a secondary party, is this really real? Because the things they come up with are so quasi believable, but you have to learn to differentiate between what is fake and what is real. And we have to learn with our thoughts and the weather patterns of our thoughts what is fake and what is real. And so we want to bring that soul energy, from our deeper self, our connection with our higher power, and what that does, what it does to dim down that noise. How does wisdom overthrow? And I use the word wisdom broadly because there's so many other things that our soul possesses that we really can't sift through some of the noise that goes on in our brain. So we have to differentiate in the Gemini time. Do we allow what if you had a table and you had guests, and you can expand your mind here a little bit, and you had all of those guests at your table, but every guest kind of had a thought, who would you want to stay and who would you ask to leave? And then you can differentiate a little bit through these visualizations. What is the good part of what's happening to your thoughts? Where is your curiosity? Where is your connection? Where is your contact? How are you bringing more of your thoughts into a focused place at the table? Like you're the head of the table. And I was thinking, do we want scattered little? I'm thinking about the animals, which I'll get to in a minute. And Serena so wonderfully places my thoughts and my vibe out there to the world every week. She's incredible. But and right now it is all about the animals. But how do we stay with our thoughts in an orderly fashion and not overstimulate, overthink, and overreact? So I have to tell you guys, I was able to clear out my table and really think about how many people I wanted there, and every so-called quote unquote person is a thought. How many thoughts do you want to stay with? Our sensitivity, the more sensitive you are as an empath or an intuitive or a psychic or a medium, whatever you're a healer, whatever your gifts are, the more sensitivity your antenna has. And how often are we fighting with ourselves to really understand where everything is coming from? If we don't have that peace, we kind of have more guests, and maybe not the guests that we want to, you know, host, so to speak. So I was laughing because I sometimes have like 37 tabs going on in my brain. And then next thing you know, I start closing them out. And this is total Gemini energy. You start closing those tabs, and there's one thing that matters in those moments, and that is the truth, delivering truth, shutting down the noise, and really knowing what's real. And so that's how the more we become, the more sensitive our antenna is, the better we have the ability to shut those tabs down. But I think we're all doing this. So one of the things I think turning those heavy emotions, turning because Gemini gets accused a lot of not having emotions, but it's very, very opposite, in my opinion, and from my path and it on its own. But I know many of you know I if you have a Gemini friend, you'll also know, but you're absorbing, no matter what sign you are right now, all of this energy in the sky that's penetrating. It's another layer of what's happening with your thoughts, you know? And so turning those heavier emotions into that laughter and that healing and that connection that we all so crave. And that's what I think is happening right now. And so if you have anxiety, you know where it's coming from. Remember to sit down, set your table, invite your guests, acknowledge your feelings, acknowledge those thoughts, and get rid of any or all that you don't want at your table. So now we see and envision a more romantic or intimate setting that's peaceful and calm. And from this place, we can deliver more of what we need or more of what your guests need. And that's really how it happens. In the meantime, we have some animal friends. Speaking of hosting, all of the animals that scurry about remind us of that Gemini season. And I am hosting a lot of them right now. And so I really believe these little creatures, no matter what they are. We have cardinals out my window right here building a nest, right? It couldn't get any closer in my face that there is a male and a female building a nest right here. I wish I could show you guys. I don't really have a way to do that right now, but they are flapping away. I know, or I feel, and maybe I'm telling myself this, that Monty and Lulu are visiting together, and they're coming back because this has never happened to me before, so close. And so I've been dealing with a lot of that, a lot of the birds coming closer. We have so many eggs that are surrounding our house. It's so beautiful to see new life of many, many species, and it's just unbelievable. And then the raccoons, um, I don't think it's a mistake that there are 12. And that's my favorite number. So we have fun with them every day. And they're actually getting trained to take photos. And I wish there was a way. I think I'll put it on my story later on over at Kathleen Nicholson if you want to take a peek on Facebook. But they are literally posing for the camera now, which is hilarious. But again, it's that scattered Gemini fun reminder that you could really find peace or solace or healing in any single breathing thing, whether it moves or not. And so, with that being said, of course, God or your higher power, whatever that vertical connection is, can really come through every single living or non living thing because that's the creator of everything we connect to. And so that's enough of that. Now let's come to the room. I'm going to take some questions. And again, I cannot wait to see Mark tonight over live on his channel. And if you haven't subscribed, he puts out some amazing things. You guys would it's so great to just sign up. It is the best little, it can't be a tinier investment for a ton of information. And I'm sure he puts out so much for so little. And um, it's, anything we can learn at this time is so perfect. And Gemini loves to learn as well. So I'm encouraging you guys to sign up over there if you haven't already. They are adorable and they are a nuisance, but we love them. And they have a swimming pool now and they have a water well and they have place settings for 12. And it's kind of hilarious. But this is where we put our grief, into saving more animals. And that's just what it is. So, anyway, okay, now let's take a look. Saving the creatures. But then we got the bunnies, and then we got the squirrels, and then we got all these other things. It's kind of crazy, but definitely worth it. All right, now, Nadine, hello, good morning. Let me say good morning to everyone who's here. Sherry, good morning. Jamie, hello, and Tara, Beth. I will answer that question finally. It's been drilled in my mind since last week. I apologize for that. Jane, it's so nice to see you. Maya, hello. And Jamie, Faith is here from one2listen.com. It's so great to see you too. Fairy, hi. Lara, Nadine, tell me what you're up to. Lynn is so wonderful, shining her light always with us. Becca, you too. Lori, hi. I'm so excited. It is a Gemini day. Um, I think it'll be a good time. Thank you for that. Lara, how are you feeling? Lara's been recovering from some surgery, and I want to check in on her real quick. Um, isn't it amazing how we forget to consciously clear certain things in our moment? And, I'm on a little bit of a crusade right now to fight for Monty's justice and stuff. And I don't know why, when we go through challenges, it drives us. And I'm sure many of you operate under the same I would say the same energy, the same vibration when people need our help more and more. And so it kind of anytime there's a challenge, it drives us to help people more. And I'm sure you know that. I'm sure you all feel that as well within your own lives. And so that's basically what's been happening. And Lara says she's doing better this week, very tired. She's taking it slow and doing what is necessary, but not more. Do you think everything is okay? I think you're doing fantastic. Yeah, you were like on the move one day later. So I was kind of, I was, and I have a couple of you who have just recovered from some really large surgeries, but we forget that we have to take it easy. And you did great. You're doing really, really well. I absolutely love it. Okay. And I'm so grateful that you're here with us. And let's take Mindy. Good morning. Becca, hello. Becca's behind us about Mark and his hour. I'm also thinking about where is I don't see many questions, you guys. I told Beth she'd stumble onto a job around the 17th. She was hired on the 14th. There's too few hours. How will this develop? I like those teen times for you for some reason, because now the 19th is showing up. I think it's good, not great, but it's good. I mean, I'm seeing a stepping stone here, so there's something else coming. I also feel like the 19th will be a really good day. I don't know. Okay, let's go this way. 9, 19, 29. A lot of nines coming in now for you. You do get numbers. I resonate. And this is good because I'm seeing into June. I don't think you need to rush. I feel I am feeling that you're going to start looking you will start looking for something else. And I really want you to, because it'll just give you peace of mind. Sometimes we accidentally, this is what I feel. You kind of poke your we stick our toe in the water and then it's just right. I feel this is coming for you. You stick your toe in the water and it feels just right. Okay. I like that a lot. And okay, Lynn asked a question. Wait, let me just see. Hold on one sec. I'll be right there. Beth, that was for you. Um, so let's just dip a toe in the water. I feel like something that's how it's coming through. I'm doing some visuals this week, guys, and it just feels right to share with you here. Um, and I also feel that certain things may overlap a little bit. So try to be patient. Timing is very fleeting in moments, but at the same time, I do feel um, I want to stick with my water for you being just right. Okay. All right. Now, let me see who's next. Um, Lynn, okay, Lynn, this is now. So let me just say this. So I'm challenging my brain a little bit today with the visual because I think that it sometimes overrides. But and I'm pulling cards from um I don't want to say I'm pulling them out of the sky, but I am a little bit. Um because this is how they're coming through and I don't want to change the path of where this is taking me right now, so I hope that's okay with you, but the 3 of wands is very very strong for you, and it's actually there's connection, there's writing, there's I don't want to say contract, but maybe I want to say contract. There's something you're going to do to solidify your work. And sometimes when we go on a new journey or we take on a new idea, we need that. Like, there's a little challenge of, okay, have some faith, really, really go into your faith a little bit, because I do feel there's a very strong connection of writing and writing more. I don't know if you're getting your words, your thoughts, your notes out, something like this to the world. It's time. And sometimes I think maybe you feel a little challenged to get this out, if this makes sense. But I really do feel this. And I also feel some, and I want to say social time, but it's more connection time as well. To me, of course, third house Gemini ruled, you're kind of living the dream, you're living the vibe of it all. But at the same time, are you writing or anything? I see this, and also like solidifying. Now, it reminds me of contractual energy, right? Or solidifying something for yourself, protecting yourself in a certain way in writing, maybe a little disclaimer, or um, dotting your I's and crossing your T's, tightening things up, and really being able to perhaps search. It's almost like a search, um, another path opening for success. Using the two, there's like two. I'm getting three different things. So if I see these 3 of wands, it's taking me on 3 roads. And I really feel that you're tying all of these things that you have together, if this makes any sense. And that's what I'm feeling. And I hope you can hear this. And it's really gonna, so we have these 3 paths that are gonna tie together, and then you're gonna go on a straight path with everything with you. So it's going to really solidify a lot of what you're doing. But writing seems to be a big thing ahead. And I like that too. Okay. I hope this helps. So the 3 of wands would be you're open to a new path. I feel this, but it's going to solidify everything else you've been doing to come out of the, and do you write? Are you writing anything? Have you thought about this? I feel like your ideas come from this. And sometimes we may get like a little stuck and not know what to, like, it's like not getting stuck in front of a wall because there's 3 different roads to the goal, but we're tying all these things together. I hope that makes sense to you. She wants to start. I think it's time. It seems, we've had I think I was telling Serena, We've had some sticky and tricky, and what else did I say? I made a joke about this energy because it has been a little bit of a trickster to get our goals off the ground or taking that step. And a lot of, like I said, emotional whiplash is huge in the energy. Like maybe it's like too many distractions of doom scrolling or doubts or even through our own mind. Not it doesn't have to be social media, but a little combination of both. I think some of this we get distracted easily, and Gemini is good for that too. So have to reel it in. And I think, but when I get the Three of Wands energy, I get the 3 weeks. It reminds me of a 3 week time period. So maybe by the end of June, let's say, or the third week ish, second and third, I think you'll be writing. Another thing that I feel, Lori, I'm so excited to see you later also. She has a Gemini rising. Another thing I feel is for you all who are trying to write, I think we put so much pressure on ourselves to do it all at once that we get frustrated and we want to walk away. And instead, we should sit down. And I don't know why I I knew this or I learned it somewhere along the way about what about sitting down the first day and writing every word that comes to your head? Then you sit down the second day and you write one sentence that comes to your head. And you sit down the third day and you write a couple sentences that come to your head. And instead of feeling like you're not achieving your goals, I think tiny goals are better. One day you're going to just start writing and never stop. And I really do believe that. And I hope it helps. Let me see who's next. Let me see. I'm looking for questions. Lynn, does that make sense? She said she wants to start writing a few things, oracle cards and a book. That's so great. Beth, I don't know where you went, but I see you. And anytime, Lynn. Thank you for being here. All right, hold on now. Sherry, I feel like you've been clear. Are you clear in your space at home? Feels like you're going to if you haven't, because this is the very first thing I see you doing. And I feel very, very strongly about that. And refresh, redo, all of these things. You're clearing? Yeah, it feels really right. And your energy is getting right too. And not that it's wrong. I don't mean it that way. I feel like you're aligning. It's almost like you're becoming one with your space because you're clearing it up, if this makes any sense. And it feels brighter and lighter. And yeah, definitely. Okay, Beth, I see you. Thank you. And I definitely feel that. I also feel, um, and I know this is crazy, but is anybody talking to a Michael or connected to a Michael? Sherry's doing her house room by room. I'm just throwing this out there and I'll get to Michael in a minute. I'll just stay with you, Cher. I could feel this. I feel like does it feel lighter vibe like this? Um, you're supposed to be doing this. And also changing changing the scent of what you're bringing in the house. Like, if you're into vanilla candles, change it to something else like jasmine. I'm just giving you ideas. I feel strongly about that. I also feel like green rose incense. Okay, I'm good with that. I like it. I feel more too. So you're really going to be playing with that. I see you playing with a little color in your space. I love that. I see a lot of healing going on over there. Body, mind, and spirit for you. And I like that. Now, let's go back to Michael because of course I have this Michael energy. And honestly, my uncle Michael gave me away at my wedding. So he's here. Um Lori's talking to her ex-boyfriend Michael. You all have lost a Michael. I'm so sorry for your losses, all of you. I feel like one of you are going to meet a Michael romantically, and we will know about this. And I'm going to give you a time frame that you're not going to love, but within the next 90 days there is a Michael. Now, this is totally gallery style, guys, because okay, Sherry's saying her brother Michael's moving in with her. Okay. That's probably gonna actually, that's not a bad idea if you guys that's not a bad idea, Sherry. I like that too. But okay, it came in while I was talking to you, but I do feel somebody's gonna meet a Michael within the next 90 days and he's gonna be your person. So whoever grabs that, or it happens for you, we want to know about that. So I know 90 days. Um, Anyway, I'm not changing that. Okay. Now, lots and lots of Michael energy. Archangel Michael always. Jamie, maybe you should check in with your Uncle Michael. I feel that. Um, the last ex was of Michael. Oh, yes. We talked about him many times. We'll be awaiting some news on him too, but we're not going down that. That's the wrong road, as you know. No, it's not that. It's none of it, but I'm telling you, somebody's going to meet a Michael within the next 90 days. Somebody is, yes, Jamie, I feel that very strongly for you. Sherry, I love the idea of that. I do not know why. Um, I'm so sorry for your losses, everyone. Like, I mean, obviously the energy, the name, the vibration of it is very strong today. So I hope we can all I do feel that. I see a lot of wings. I see a lot of angel energy around you all and very, very protective and safe energy right now. So we love that too. Mindy, I'm going to come to you in a moment. I'm just coming back to the top. Gail, good morning to you. I see you sneaking in here. Now, I do feel there are 3 possibilities in your world for opening you up to a new direction. There has to be consistency, and the more consistent you get your day, like your schedule and stuff, the more consistent the energy will come back to you. And one of these 3 options, do you have any options on the table right now, Mindy? I don't know if you're still here. Yeah, there's a lot of Michael energy, but I do feel 3 opportunities, one of which you will take, okay? The only thing is the structure of the day to day. a med spa admin job and a senior center. Okay. Maybe an animal organization. Okay, good. I just feel the first um it has to be something that it has to be something that you feel excited about. And I feel like we have them on the table now. One of these things are gonna be it for you, and the path is going to become more clear as you become more clear. But I feel like saying, I have a lot of nerve being a Gemini with an Aries moon, like structure. Oh, forget it. But for you, yes, you need structure. She said she has to have flexibility and freedom, but in your day right now, I feel confident that if you are more structured day to day and you have and I think you do, you have a little routine, a schedule, whatever, something you follow, that right thing will come that will offer you some flexibility. Where if you aren't really structured and day to day, it's actually the opposite. So we don't want to, we want to go in the right direction. And that's what I'm feeling. When is around So she says she needs surgery on her hand and her shoulder. Look, I don't know if the admin I like the med spa and I like the senior center and I feel good about that. But admin we know is really not for you. It's almost like this time it's going to be the thing that you can embrace and be excited about and stay on task. But I do feel the more you are routine now, the better your next position will be, okay? And I do hope that helps. And I'm getting around the 4th to the 9th. I don't energetically, this is what I get. And you come back and tell me, okay? All right. Love you. Love you. And don't worry and try to I don't even know why I'm telling you to be structured or routine day to day because I know that's not your nature, but it's time. I feel that very, very strongly. Um Nadine, happy to be in Gemini time. Me too. She says, what I'm doing is traveling to Ohio for Carol's nephew's wedding this weekend. Her family is almost opposite. I'm so sorry. Oh, don't I know what this is like? I think occasionally it's okay to be still with it, even though it's very against your nature. And Mark Husson said something to me once, years and years and years ago. And I believe it just stuck in the back of my mind because Aries energy, you know, some of the stronger Scorpio, Leo, um, be interested. Oh, this was my dating advice, I think, or something. I'm laughing because I think I'll bring it up later when I'm with him, but he used to really give me some fun advice. And of course, in my crazy single days, no disrespect to my lovely husband, but I mean, back in the day, I used to go visit Mark quite a bit. And we had a little experiment going on. And so he says, Kat, just be interested instead of interesting, and you'll really find out about the person. And it really stuck with me. So I feel for you. You can just for the weekend try that for starters. And so you can ask a few questions and be entertained, and, I think it's a good way to get people to open up, and it really works, and I think that you can I mean, Carol needs, obviously, I met her, and she has this great still energy about her, which is a perfect balance for you, and I know it's very, very challenging, but it's also very balanced for both of you, I feel. Um, I think that's a good start, and also, it's hard when you're in a environment with a lot of people to begin with, just like I'm saying about the noise, the scattered energy, the this and that. I feel that it would really bring you a comfort because I think there are 2 people there that you're really gonna connect with, and I hope that helps. I do think it'll be pleasant. It's season This is the season for gatherings. This is the season for well, we're getting past the little graduation right now, but we still have some June graduation season, and it's a big time to connect. It's Memorial Day weekend. There's, parties. There are so many things, but being with a bunch of people that are not like yourself is very challenging. However, I think it'll be pleasant. I think you'll connect with 2 people that will really surprise you. Maybe one of them will really surprise you, the other will be neutral, but it'll be really nice. You'll do great. And Carol is probably more nervous to deal with everybody than you are. And I think that's always the way with family. And I hope that helps. Um, I think when we have Jamie, this is for you. When we have a lot of ideas going on, and Randy, I'm coming to you next. When we have a lot of ideas, I love you too, Nadine. Wish you guys were here right now. I swear, I mean that too. I wish you were visiting now. And tell Carol the same, both of you. Okay. Okay. So, Jamie, she says, not sure what path my my professional practice. Okay, so when we have a lot of thoughts going on, that little bit of chaos in our field, like we were talking about our thinking versus our soul, it's like scrambled eggs instead of an omelet, you know? And we really want to go after that omelet because it's probably, for the most part, neat and clean, and we want to, sit down and enjoy. And I also feel like, for you, when the time isn't really right yet, so we gotta have those scrambled eggs before we get that cheese omelet or whatever it is you want. We're waiting on that main meal, main course, whatever. I think that's what's coming. I don't think you're gonna really decide on that one path until July. That's my timing for you. It sounds like forever and a day, but you've been through a lot. You need some space. You need some time, and taking a step back before you go a million miles forward. And I do feel like that's what's supposed to happen right now. So by the month of July, I definitely feel good about you moving towards that one. It's I know you, so it's gonna find you. You don't have to find it. When we have all that scramble going on, it's great to have all these thoughts, but it's also better with that going on to just sit back and enjoy the ride for a minute, and then it'll come. And one day you'll not be either you'll just have that light bulb moment, which when we're in this other space, it's hard to believe we're going to get that light bulb moment. So we want to kind of race through, but it's good to sit with what you're doing and Let those things cultivate, and that thing is going to find you in July. All right, you're welcome. Um, Hi, Randy. I mentioned clairaudience. She said she heard a voice the other week but didn't catch the words. I've been meditating in here alone. Then I hear what she said. Not sure what. So I'm going to challenge you. I love that you're meditating. I think this is so good for you. I'm going to challenge you to sit now. Try to sit in a chair and meditate and see if you hear anything random. I don't care if it's a crinkle of paper or 10 words or one word or whatever. And pay attention to what you hear. And I want to say pay attention to what you hear and see if that feels more comfortable, because we do get vision, I think, faster than hearing. For myself, that's how it is. But for some people, maybe not. But just an experiment. You could, and the other part of me wants to say use the blackout shades so you can't see, to put all of that energy into your like hearing. So if you sit and meditate and have a pen and paper, maybe you could start connecting the dots that way. I think you're onto something. And I think I told you this. Did I mention this was going to happen for you? Oh, yeah. I think I did recently, right? So it's cultivating now. And sometimes when we try to look, our gifts are given to us from our higher power. For myself, I know it's God. For you, it may, whatever that is. The universe was created and given to us. Uh, the whole entire universe that God created is given to us. Where we choose to connect, what we choose to do with our spirituality and body, mind, and spirit, we have the choice. Sometimes we don't have a choice, but nevertheless, for lack of better words, you know what I mean. I do believe that this is going to be a little bit of a path for you. But I don't want you to force it, because when we force these things that are gifts, like they kind of escape us, like the pot of water that never boils. So don't try too hard, but try. And I hope that helps. At times, my left shoulder neck tingles when I'm thinking. I like that too. It's kind of leading to something, we get all these signs. And I think the more aligned we are in our body, mind, and spirit, the better that happens. And I do hope that helps. You're going to get there, Randy. Lori wants to know if I have any good news. I don't think we'll be having the same types of conversations by also. I don't want to give you I don't want to say too much about time, but I will, because I do feel like it pertains to something. And I do believe 3 to 9 weeks from now, 3 to 9 sounds like a long time, but it really is not. It goes so quickly. I do think you're going to attract what you need. And it doesn't mean it can't happen faster, but that's what they're showing me. And I really, really feel this, and I'm leaning to July and August being so good for you. That is really good news. They're not showing me May and June much, but I do believe that that's just on purpose in a way, to try to get your mind. Just be still with yourself if you can, but know that the best will come and better. And you won't even be, I don't even feel like, I believe we surrender. We have to surrender to survive in some ways. We have to. As humans, we all have to learn that at some point in our lives, and sometimes more so than others. And right now you do, and I know you have. And I also believe that that's I want to stick with that timing. Okay. You come back and let me know. I can't wait. Really. And I don't think it's going to be horrible in the meantime of those 3 to 9 weeks. Um, I just feel summer is going to be so much better than winter and spring. I really, really do. And then autumn will be even better. Okay. That's what I believe. You're on a season. Okay. I have to go now to allow you to get on the air. And Lori, are you going live today? And everyone, thank you so much for spending your little bit of holiday time with me today. And much, much honor and appreciation for all of our men and women who have served and who have continuously sacrificed for us and are as we speak. Um, and to all of those we lost. And in any case, it is a really fun day to have a reading, though, over at one2listen.com. And I'm definitely looking forward to connecting there, okay? And lots of love to all of you. Have a great week. I'll see you guys. Thank you, Serena. Bye bye. I'll see you tonight on Mark's at his member site on YouTube. Please come check it out. We're gonna have so much fun. I love to tease him at this time of year more than ever, so it'll be a great time. See you guys later. Okay, bye bye now.